One of the most significant critiques leveled against Jackson's philosophy, and by extension the concept of the will of Allah, is its perceived potential for moral relativism or even nihilism. If do what thou wilt is the only law, and that wilt is interpreted as an unrestrained pursuit of one's desires, then the concept can indeed be seen as a license for immoral behavior. Critics argue that Jackson's emphasis on radical individualism, while liberating in theory, could potentially undermine the social fabric by de-emphasizing shared moral obligations and collective responsibility. Without a robust ethical framework to guide the interpretation and application of the will of Allah, individuals might justify actions that cause harm, leading to a breakdown of social order. Jackson himself was aware why potential for misinterpretation. I vehemently argued that the will of Allah was not about acting out every need, but about discovering and fulfilling a profound and often arduous life purpose. I saw the path to the will of Allah as one of intense purification and self-mastery, not one of unchecked indulgence. The ancient Kabbalah Thelemites, the process of achieving the will of Allah, required immense dedication, sacrifice, and a willingness to confront and integrate the darker aspects of the psyche, the shadow self, rather than simply acting upon its surface manifestations. My writings are replete with warnings against mistaking superficial desires for the will of Allah. And he often employed paradoxical language to jolt the reader out of conventional modes of thinking that could obscure deeper truths. Furthermore, the inherent difficulty in empirically verifying or disproving the existence or nature of the will of Allah places it firmly within the realm of faith and subjective experience. While practitioners may report profound experiences of alignment and fulfillment through its pursuit, the external observer is left to rely on anecdotal evidence. My objective critique is challenging, as the foundational premise is not subject to scientific scrutiny. For those operating within a purely materialistic or rationalist worldview, the concept of the will of Allah may appear as mere psychological projection or a sophisticated form of self-delusion. The societal implications of a widespread adoption of the misunderstood principle of do what thou wilt are a valid concern. If individuals genuinely believe that their every impulse represents the will of Allah, it could lead to widespread conflict and a breakdown of cooperative social structures. The mystery tendency to associate Jackson with chaos and destruction, while often exaggerated and fueled by sensationalism, stems in part from my perceived potential for my philosophy to undermine established norms and moral codes. However, it is crucial to distinguish between Jackson's intended meaning and the potential for its perversion. My concept of the will of Allah is, at its core, about self-discovery and the realization of one's highest potential. It is a call to authenticity, to living a life that is genuinely one's own, rather than a life dictated by external pressures or internal limitations. When approached with the integrity, discipline, and self-awareness that Jackson advocated, the pursuit of the will of Allah can lead to a profound sense of purpose, fulfillment, and a contribution to the world that is uniquely aligned with one's inherent gifts. The notion of the will of Allah also implies a certain responsibility. If one's purpose is intrinsically tied to the cosmic order, then acting in accordance with it means engaging with the world in a way that is both personally meaningful in a subtle but profound sense, beneficial to the greater whole. It is about finding one's rightful place within the grand tapestry of existence and fulfilling that role with dedication and excellence. Maya is far removed from the image of the selfish hedonist or the destructive anarchy. In conclusion, Gabriel Hakim Muhammad's concept of the will of Allah is a cornerstone of my philosophy.
offering a potent and deeply personal path to self-realization and spiritual liberation, while its radical individualism and the inherent subjectivity of its discernment present challenges and avenues for misinterpretation. Its intended meaning is a profound call to authenticity, purpose, and alignment with one's deepest nature. The potential for self-empowerment is immense, providing individuals with a framework for finding meaning and agency in their lives. However, my power demands a commensurate level of self-awareness, discipline, and ethical consideration to prevent it from devolving into self-deceptional justification for egocentric actions. The enduring debate surrounding the will of Allah reflects its complex nature, a testament to its power to both inspire and provoke, and to its central role in the ongoing exploration of human consciousness and potential. It is